a Rotarian. Thank you. I started being a Rotarian spouse in 1994 when my husband, Bob, joined Rotary and loved it. Traveled internationally because of Rotary. First time was to Singapore. So if y'all want to go back to Singapore in a few years, let me know. We're going to be probably renting a house again. But at any rate, my background is in healthcare administration. And what really brought me into Rotary is that I got interested in a global grant for a birth center, La Maison de Naissance, that's located in Torbec, Haiti. And as a part of that process, I learned a lot. For one thing, if you need a global grant, I'll be happy to help. But I learned a lot about Haiti and fell in love with Haiti and all of its people. And also because Haiti has such strong connections to New Orleans after the revolt of enslaved people in the late 18th century. 10,000 people from Haiti came to New Orleans, and it impacted our culture and our way of life and our economics very in very many ways, not all of them positive. But at any rate, I love Haiti. My birth center is in a very rural, very agricultural area, country down in the south, near where Robert lives, and in Les Cayes. And his club has supported the Maison de Naissance way before I ever became involved with it. So over the years, I've just gotten to work with Robert, I'm sorry, in a couple of different places. One of them, I see him on the Hand Wash quarterly calls. Hand Wash is a project, I'll let him talk more about it, that's in Haiti that he's very involved in. And so at any rate, when he was the absolute logical choice for our first international guest speaker, at least as far as I was concerned. And I am thrilled. He's PDG. He's very active in Rotary. And I am just thrilled to introduce my friend. He is a native, of course, of Les Cayes, which is the area from down there. He is a well-known surgeon, and he's the head of the Department of Surgery at the Immaculée Conception Hospital in Cayes. Been that for 27 years. Member of the Chamber of Commerce in the Sud, and served the south of the country, and served on the boards of several organizations, and is a consultant for different institutions in Les Cayes. So he's been a Rotarian since 1983 and president of his club for 2 terms. He's held all the posts in his club. He's an RLI graduate. Yay, we love RLI. And a discussion leader. He's also a PETS trainer for District 7020. And at the district level, he served as district governor representative, assistant district governor, district chair for community service, water, future vision, global grants, District 7020 projects from 2010 to 2012, and district governor from 2017-18. So he's a cadre for the Rotary Foundation and Hand Wash member, multiple Paul Harris Fellow, a benefactor, Bequest Society and Paul Harris Society member, and a major donor of the Rotary Foundation. He received the Service Above Self Award in 2011. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to my friend, Dr. Robert Leger, and see what he can tell us about international service, which is the purpose of this e-club. So Robert, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you for inviting me to talk about my experience with international projects. But I heard that Doris is from the Alger Club, right?
Yes.
And someone else, I think that Alvin, correct? No, not Alvin, Glinda. I think my club had a project with the Alger Club, and after the earthquake. And I think I have a good friend, Jean-Marie Desrosiers. I don't know if you, yes? Oh, all right. Yeah, so that's we are friends since we were a child at primary school. Wow. Primary school. So imagine that. Eh? If you see him, say hello for me, please.
Okay.
All right. So as Rotarians, you know, we are people of action, all right? And we are part of this big family for different reasons. And one of them is service to others, right? So, but let me tell you that I am proud to state that I am a member of the Rotary Club of Les Cayes since 1983. So time flies, 38 years, right? And my club is a small club, 28 members, but very dynamic. We have been involved in many different projects locally with our own fundraising, with district grants, in the past matching grants, and now global grants. So most of the local projects and most of the district grants projects have been initiated by our club. But most of what we used to call matching grants in the past, now replaced by global grants, projects have been or are initiated by Rotary clubs abroad. Is there a difference when we initiate a project or when a Rotary club abroad comes with a project asking to sponsor it by a local club like mine, which would be then an international project? May I share my screen, please?
You should be able to. Or I'm going to probably need to make you a host. Let me see. I'm making you the host, and then you should be able to share.
Okay, thank you. So let me see that here. If I turn to it like that, maybe it will be easier if I do this.
Lovely.
I'm going to minimize that here. So let me see that here. All right. Okay, so based on my experience, and in addition to the criteria required by the Rotary Foundation for an international project, there is no big difference if we follow certain criteria. But I want to stress that it is very important that project must address an important need identified by the community. The benefiting community must be actively involved in the project, allowing a good community assessment. Another very important point, the locally owned ownership property concept must be present in the community to assure a sustainable development. This point is very important. They have to feel that that's theirs. They are the owner of what you have built. If not, it will not be sustainable. The international club must have the buy-in of the local club where all members really understand your project. This is important. It has happened in the past where in an international club, only contact the president and secretary, but they don't take the time to present the project in the Rotary local club meeting. So with the Zoom, it will be maybe easier or difficult depending if the club, for example, in my country, not all the cities have access to internet like you. So, but hopefully the COVID system, pandemic will be over, and then we'll be able to have physical meeting where you present your project. That's important because Rotary members in both clubs must be actively involved. You need to make sure each club understands their roles and responsibilities, because many times they don't know who is doing what and what is my role, what I have to do, and confusion can put some challenges for a project. Things to be avoided, but before that, let me first, excuse me, sorry, I went too fast, I'm not used to that. Let's continue then. When we're talking, things we need to avoid, because Jamie asked me to highlight this point. I think that's important. And do not think your priorities are the same as the ones in the community. Because you can go to a missionary for someone, or Rotarian with a mission group can go there and say, wow, they need a school there. And you plan to have a school as a project. But the people, what they need, they would prefer to have water closer to their community. So that's important, to pay attention to the community priorities. So avoid not paying attention to that. Do not impose a project to a local club. We have experienced that where an international club has arrived and imposed a project somewhere. When the members of local club went to visit the project, they feel that this is not what this community needs. But the international clubs insist for this project to be done. Sometimes an international club, you see the map of Haiti, you say, oh, this is close to the city of my city, Les Cayes, for example. Oh, Les Cayes, we want to have this project in that area. But don't forget, you are not in a developed country where you have highways, where communications is so good in your country. But in the map, it looks close, but it can be so difficult to access this area. And many times, the club can reject your project because of the distance, because they cannot supervise very well, and about reporting, that can give a very big challenge for them to report about this project. It's important to choose a non-Rotarian project partner. So if you forget to work closely with the local clubs to choose, if necessary, a non-Rotarian partner for the project, make sure both of you agree to choose this partner. We have actually this situation with a global grant where the partner wanted to have contact only with the international club, not with the local club. And this has created a big situation, a big issue where now the project has been to be stopped, waiting for the situation to get cleared. Exporting goods to the local country, where goods are to be imported because they are not otherwise available. It is imperative that international partners should be aware of the difficulty, the delay, the uncertainty, and sometimes cost of shipping goods into the country. Many times, local Rotarians can offer very limited help if this advice is ignored. International partners are encouraged to research the use of local purchases through local agents, wherever possible. Apart from the benefits which accrue to the economy by buying locally, very often there are considerable difficulties with customs locally. In Haiti, customs are very tough, let me tell you. It's not easy to deal with these people. Jamie asked me, what do I think the interest level might be for an e-club focused on international service? An e-club has the advantage, as I told you, to have members from different regions, in that case, different states or countries, as it is for the only e-club we have in our District 7020. That's the Rotary E-Club of the Caribbean. They have members in England, they have members in Ethiopia, and they have members, most of them, in the Caribbean. So clubs like that, like yours, you have a broader view of the needs, globally speaking. That's a big advantage. And let me tell you, when Rotarians, we do projects in all 7 areas of focus, thanks to our engagement doing good in our communities and abroad, with our contribution and support to the Rotary Foundation, we're promoting peace. So when Rotarians from the Rotary E-Club of Global Service or any other clubs do projects in their own communities, but also around the world, you become ambassadors of goodwill. You become peace builders. So you get a view internationally. And don't forget, we have a powerful tool in our hands, a tool that can do a lot of good for our communities and also internationally. This tool is Rotary. During my year as district governor, in my message visiting the clubs, I reminded them that it is very true when it is said that we cannot even scratch the surface of the power of Rotary. I have seen it, and I have even personally experienced it. So I think that's a good idea for the E-Club of Global Service to continue to promote peace around the world through projects. But first, You need to grow stronger to be able to serve better. That was my motto as district governor: grow stronger, serve better. So grow stronger first, stabilizing yourself, taking care of your health, of your family, of your business, and then keeping strong your club and help it grow in order to change the lives, not only those around you, but also the lives of people around the world. People we will never meet, people that will not even have an idea of who you are, who we are. For these people, we are the messengers, we are the facilitators sent to make a positive changes in their lives. Let me share with you some pictures where grants have made a big difference on the lives of people. Have we been able to change that? Yes. We went, that's close to Les Cayes. That's a colonial well. And this little girl, we were surprised to see that. And we follow her, and she went back to her village, and we saw that. So we we took local fundraising, we did this well for them. So that's a big change for them. After the earthquake, we have a lot of schools with cracks where the government had to tell them you cannot stay inside that building. So they're outside having class. And we did that thanks to Rotary, thanks to clubs like yours, international projects. We did that. We visited areas and we found this situation where people close to Les Cayes, they don't have water. They have to walk very far. What can we do? So we did this, close by to a church. They have a big roof. We collected water. And we did this also. And you don't imagine how you changed the lives of the people. After the Hurricane Matthew, we have these many schools like that. We visited this school, and during the classroom, they have the sun above their head. And you know, sun in Haiti is not the sun maybe you have in your country. It's hot, let me tell you. But we did this. My city, when I was a kid, was a biking city. It became now a motorcycle city. And let me tell you, at the hospital, cases of bone fractures increase a lot. And many times the orthopedic surgeon cannot even do certain kind of procedures, and they have to refer the patients. Thanks to global grants, international projects, we did this. We gave the hospital a beautiful, modern imaginary machine, and the C-arm allow them to do so many kind of procedures that they will not be able to do. And they receive training also. So let me stop sharing. And so the E-Club of Global Service does not need to wait for a global grant for their international service to change lives positively. With small funds, like you talked about hand wash a while ago, that's a new program, okay? And they have what they call the Adopt a Well. So if you adopt a well in the Rotary hand wash program, for example, or any other well-planned small project, that can make a huge difference in the lives of people in the community. Jamie asked me to share with you one of my favorite projects. So one of them was to give access to water, catching rainwater and putting 600-gallon water tank close by their house, but in 3 different communities located very high up to the mountains close by Les Cayes, where the people, children or adults, had to wake up very early. You're going to listen to them in the morning to fetch water, benefiting more than 80 families. So I would like to share with you this 3-minute video showing how you can make an impact on the life of people thanks to a global grant, to an international project. Let's listen to the story this time of these beneficiaries. You are going to talk with you about the change Rotary has made in their lives. I'm going to share again my screen, but this time a short video.
Boulmier is a rural section of Les Cayes, south of Haiti. The most important need is water. This Rotary Club of Les Cayes project is to catch rainwater and stock it in 600-gallon water tank for 81 families. This project was also presented in the Caribbean Partnership celebration in Puerto Rico, which allows us to meet Rotarians interested in this project. We thank everyone who helped this project to become a reality.
Qui importance pour ça pour
en pile. C'est pour me dire encore bon pas connait.
C'est-à-dire que auparavant pas de l'eau ici.
Non, ils sont ballants fond. Il y a la une fait journée. On peut dire c'est une petite truc parce qu'il y a une selle là.
Ah bien, OK. D'accord. Alors qui organisation qui finance pour ça?
Et
Rotary. D'accord. C'est-à-dire Rotary de nous en pile dans son. En pile. Dans qui zone nous là? Des plantes. Comment projet ça atterri dans la communauté? Qui importance ou est mon bail à projet ça?
Communauté en difficulté de l'eau, nous pouvons prendre de l'eau, nous allons prendre de l'eau quotidien, parfois nous pas joindre de la source. Si ça après nous devons continuer au projet, ça vient bon pour nous.
D'accord. C'est-à-dire que je vous dis, nous allons souffler dans la question de l'eau.
Oui.
D'accord. Bonjour madame, comment est-ce?
Bonjour monsieur.
Alors, qui est important château de ça au gagner pour dans zone là?
Bon, château d'eau a gagné plus d'importance pour nous dans zone là. Parce que nous avons plus de difficultés de l'eau.
OK.
Surtout les sécheresses. Ça fait que nous partageons de l'eau pour nous servir. Mais à cause des châteaux de ça, que l'organisation Rotary, ça dit nous un grand valeur, un grand importance de nous. On a capté de l'eau, pas moins un château d'eau.
Et autrefois, qui côté nous qu'on a de l'eau?
Bon, autrefois, nous avons prendre de l'eau bien loin. Il y a un pile monde, c'est là que nous avons prendre l'eau. Parfois, les lacs qui tombent, nous avons besoin de faire lessive, nous partageons de nous faire ça.
Mais qu'on y a là, nous va avoir aucun problème.
Non, nous allons faire
Qui organisation comme ça? Comment il faut nous tout ensemble? Est-ce que nous sentons que c'est un bon travail que vous avez fait? Longtemps, qui côté de joindre de l'eau? À qui l'aime de lever les matins pour nous prendre de l'eau? 4 heures du matin? Oui. Pour nous aller de l'eau? Oui. Et puis nous allons lever là. Qui est-ce qui va nous le papier? For them, Rotarians, for them, we are their angels. To help them continue to move forward. They know when Rotarians arrive somewhere, something positive will happen soon. So to finish, let me refer you to the declaration of this philosopher and writer, Professor Yusuf Ahmed Obaje, highlighting how Rotarians' contributions have been overwhelming and is urging Rotarians to continue in that spirit. So according to him, open quotes, the Rotarian spirit is the spirit of love for God and humanity. There can never be any genuine humanitarian act without a deep sense of love for God and for humanity. Rotarian spirit is the spirit of selfless service. Close the quote. Thank you.
Romero, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I invite everyone to turn their cameras back on and maybe we'll ask some questions.
First, I want to say
Jamie's
to
first.
Robert, merci en pile. And I got to tell you, my eyes started tearing up listening to Creole again. It's just, I want to get back to Haiti so much. Those are the people that I tell you about. Those are the people who work so hard and who really, the solutions have to be Haitian led. They have to come, as Robert said again and again, that it has to be the solution based in the community. So, but it was, I just loved, I love seeing it, Robert. And by the way, one of the things that the Rotary Club of Les Cayes did for my birth center, the Maison, it's not my birth center, the Maison de Naissance, was they put in a community laundry and lavatory and water system. So it was very, very much needed and continues to work very well. So they really are spread all over the community. And I'm just very glad that that Hurricane Elsa didn't do any real damage, apparently, that we've heard. But anyway, I'll defer to you. I want to emphasize again how important what he said is about all the things about what not to do, you know, to make sure that you do involve the local clubs and so forth, and also to buy in Haiti whenever you can, because you know, bad things happen in Haiti because people import stuff. So that's very good advice. So with that, I'll let somebody else talk, and let's hear if you what kind of questions you all might have. I personally, I'm going to show this video to my club. In fact, I think, Emily, maybe we can make it available to all clubs, because, you know, there's no reason why they couldn't use that as a guest speaker slot.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, for sure. I'll share the link with you, Jamie.
Good, perfect.
Were y'all able to source the cisterns in Haiti?
Nope, Alvin, he might need that repeated.
Were y'all able to source the cisterns and the pipe, everything that you needed in Haiti, or did that have to get imported?
Oh yes. Even in Les Cayes, the cistern was bought in Port-au-Prince, but all the pipe, PVC pipe in Les Cayes, the gutters in Port-au-Prince. But nice. You found them without problem. So that's one of my favorite projects. Well, we did a lot also, but this is one of my favorite.
I just want to say that it really inspires me to reach out to the clubs that I know in Venezuela that need help and say like, hey, you can do it, you can do that as well. We don't have that grinding culture, like the global, we don't have the grand culture in our country because the whole situation, it's really new for us. So I feel like we need to learn from you, from the experience of people that have done grants before, because we have a lot of problems and a lot of ideas, but none of the districts in Venezuela have ever done a global grant in the last 10 years when we have this humanitarian crisis, which makes no sense. So thank you for sharing that.
During my year as governor, I visited clubs that, as you say, they never try to have a global grant because they think that it's too much hassle, you know, to build up a global grant. And I remember one of the clubs in Saint Martin after the Hurricane Irma and Maria. They wanted to rebuild a school, and they were talking how they can find disaster funds and how they can do this, but in the future they want to expand their help. And I told them about the global grant, how it's easy to build it up. And they did it. And they were so happy. That was their first global grant, and it's a club that was very many years back. They have been they received their charter, you know. So you're right. Many clubs they are not aware of the global grant structure, and even the district funds. District grants can be used for so many small projects, and they don't know that.
So Robert, I'm wondering if you can expand a little bit on the process to identify global grants and what supports Rotary has in place, and so that we're hitting our benchmarks along the way, so that we're successful in partnering with another club.
So the first thing is that is to have the community assessment. That for example, this video that I showed you, I remember very well. We were in a weekly meeting, when a group of of the beneficiaries, they delegate, I think there were 4 or 5 people visiting the club to explain their situation and how Rotary can help. That's the first step, you know. So then we went to visit them, and we saw the situation, because it's far, it's up to the mountains. What you saw, it's up to the mountains of Haiti. Haiti means land of mountains. So you go mountains after mountains. So we went there, say, wow. And we saw how long it took them to go to fetch water. Not only the adults, but the children also, they carry water above their head. And so we were so touched. And that's one of the global grants that our club initiated. It's not came from abroad. So the second step is now to find an international club that want to partner with us. That's where we went to. There was the Caribbean celebration in Puerto Rico, where we meet people. That's important to attend the events. That means district conference, district assembly, you know, you go to the International Rotary Convention. So you meet Rotarians. And many times, what is the first question of a Rotarian? Hey, where are you from? Good. Which club? That. Which district? What kind of project have you done? Do you have any projects now? So that's where the contact starts, you know? And I explained to them, you know, about this project. Everyone wants to give something. And that's important. You don't need to receive $10,000. You receive 500, 1,000, and you'll build it up slowly and slowly, you know? And even Rotarians talk about your project to other Rotarians also. And it's like that you make this connection, you know, and then you have the total. You need to have the pro forma, the quotation of the total quotation, and you know that foundation will match up to June 30, 1-to-1. So okay, so I need to have, for example, this project, I don't remember the cost, but let's put $80,000. Okay, I need to get 40,000, so I can get from foundation 40,000. But you know now, since July 1st, it's not like that anymore. So now foundation is, I think it's, I don't remember, I don't want to say something bad, but it's not 1-to-1 anymore. I think it's 1 to, but it's less, it's less. If you have $100, I think foundation put 80 and you put 20. If I'm wrong, you tell me, okay? But I think they changed it this time. Anyway, so you know how much you need from the foundation. So you continue to the contact, you make local fundraising. We did a concert, we did a lottery. So locally also, we build up funds plus the international funds, and then you go to the foundation. I don't know if I answer your question.
Yeah, I was just, I was double checking on what you just mentioned, and you're right. It is 80%. I just found it. No, that really does answer the question. I think when we think about global grants, it can be a little daunting. You know, we have our own club projects in our own space, and the things that we've always done are the things that we hope to continue to do as clubs in our own regions and in our own little networks and own areas. And so sometimes expanding that reach, especially for a club like the Mid-City Club, we've only been around for 6.5 years, you know, and now the Algiers Club and certainly the Riverbend Club and Bay St. Louis have been around for a lot longer. And, you know, Robert, you've been around for 38 years, so we can lean on you.
So no problem, no, always happy to give ideas, suggestions, no problem, you know. But I think that's a very, and if you focus on international projects, I think that would be great also, without letting apart your own local necessities, you know. That's important to look around yourself also, because I'm pretty sure you have a lot of needs locally, but it's also good to have a broader view, you know, globally. So I like the name of E-Club of Global Service. I like it.
Thank you. You know, it's still in the works. We're going to figure that all out, but that's still in the works. But no, we certainly appreciate that. And Jamie, we've got you. Oh, you need to unmute, my dear. Hey, Jamie. Unmute, please.
Just a couple of things real quick. I wanted to mention that the maximum, you know, the 80% match comes with DDF funds. So it has to be district designated funds, because the first mistake I made, let me tell you, the first time I tried a global grant, I failed. So we had, it got, you know, I had to start it all over again. So don't be afraid of failure. You learn a lot. But the DDF, now I made hay when the sun shone while my husband was district governor and district governor elect. because I basically, every time we had networking opportunities, as Robert suggested or recommended, you know, at international conference, at all the international meetings we went to, I was buttonholing his classmates. So all of my DDF came from people who were Bob's classmates as district governor. So I talked to anybody who would stop and listen long enough. It got to where people would see me coming in and they'd leave the room, you know, because they didn't want me to, not really, but, you know, I'm enthusiastic about this and it was very important to me. So I didn't mind doing that. And you know what? That was a joke. 99% of the people listen to me. That's my dog, Breeding Bob, coming in. But 99% of the people were happy to listen about my project. And basically they found the funds, you know, and Bob did the same thing. So there's a quid pro quo as well. I can't emphasize enough going to the international conferences. And Robert, I know you probably know this already, that the international conference is going to be in Houston,
Yes.
Texas. And I am issuing this invitation to you to come join us there. My son lives there. We're going to be going over in a caravan of cars and we will have lots of fun, and issue an invitation to you to come to visit my club and to visit New Orleans, either before or after that convention. And would love to have you at my house you know, so just think about it, put it down on your calendar maybe. So I can tell you also that the acceptance of the local people, I mean, fortunately, La Maison de Naissance, and I know that Robert will back me on this, that the people in Torbeck really support La Maison de Naissance. They really trust it and they rely on it. So frequently it's used as a place where relief supplies are delivered, for the example, in the case of the Hurricane Mathieu. And so, you know, again, that local connection to the local, you know, people is just, it's incredible, because the local community's got to support it. So anyway, that was my two things. I wanted to make, well, three things. I wanted to make sure that you all understood it was DDF. But again, you know, I would invite any of the three clubs to, you know, please contact me. And I don't know everything about global grants, but I can walk you through the process a little bit just here locally. So let me hush up and let somebody else talk, and thank you.
Doris, Glinda?
Oh.
Well, I think another one of the hopes around having a global service e-club is so that we do reach folks outside of our silo, right? Outside of our areas and our cities, so that when people are doing service, they're doing service in their own community as well. So not in addition to potentially partnering with clubs across the country and across the world, we're also highlighting service opportunities that are happening in San Francisco to Tokyo, you know, and things everywhere in between. Maybe that wasn't a good example because they're kind of close to each other in a weird sense, but West Coast and across the Pacific, or New Orleans and London, I don't know. So hopefully we'll have some opportunities to highlight some local service as well, by highlighting members across the world, across the globe. But I just want to thank everybody so much for coming tonight. Yep, Jamie?
Robert, it was Delma Madura from British Virgin Islands. So yes, I just,
that was the PDG, yeah, Delma Maduro.
Lovely person.
So just to reiterate what Jamie said about the Houston International Convention next June, we'd love to have you. We'd love to see you there. You know, I have a space in my home as well in New Orleans. Come on over. We want you. We want you to come hang out with us. Oh, Jamie wants you.
Yeah, I asked him first. Come on.
Well, great. Annie, you can stay with me.
No, I get Annie too.
See, this is the way Rotary is. But we just thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Thanks to everybody who joined the call. I did record this, so I am going to share it both on the Facebook page and then also, Jamie, I'll send it to you. If anyone else would like the recording to send out as well, I may edit it up a little bit just so it's just Robert's presentation. But other than that, any additional questions? Yeah, Annie.
Yes, I love the idea of the service club, and I know a couple of experiences with people in Rotary and e-clubs, and if you can look up to the Rotary Social Impact Network e-club, it's led by Rebecca. She's from Australia, but they restructure a e-club, and it's really cool how they work. And also the Rotary e-club of Silicon Valley, they are really cool in how they manage to do projects and how they manage membership and how they meet. So those are two examples that I know, and if you want contact with them, I can connect you with them because they are really nice.
Yes, please. Absolutely. If you could share those names and contact information with us, that would be wonderful. But again, thank you so much. Our next formal meeting is August 3rd, 6 p.m. Annie, we might tap you for that one. We also are working to see about the Heart to Heart program that goes to Mexico City. I know that they have a deadline, which is August 15th for their project. And so depending on what their schedule is, we may ask you to come speak to us in September. So it just depends on whether we're able to confirm. But Robert, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I'm so excited to meet you in person at some point very soon, I'm sure. Do you have any closing thoughts for us?
No, just nice to meet you all. And thank you, Jamie, for inviting me. And I'm happy to share my experience. Please share with me the link or the Facebook link when you plan to share that to others, so I can go on the Facebook link that you can to review it also.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all, and we'll give you 10 minutes back of your time. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
I'd love to talk to you about the Hope for Venezuelan Refugees project sometime.
Yeah,
We
very
need to
much.
bring some.
I'm sorry, the meeting is over. Can I leave or not yet?
Yeah, you're all set. Yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
all set.